Bagfuel, baby.
But Angela, how do you navigate this filthy game? Because I'm keeping it honest. I've always said you're the blueprint for how women should deal with men in the industry. A lot of times they have meltdowns, they can't figure it out. I'm like, just do what Angela Yee does, because she's around a lot of motherfuckers and she still made it work. What is your fucking secret?
I think.
Because, shit.
Because what?
I seen, when we first started working together, I was like, I don't want to work with no girls. And it's partly because they don't understand how to really work with men. Men talk a little bit differently. We're very vulgar. You're going to hear the stories. It can become uncomfortable. And then they don't understand it's a work vibe and a personal vibe, and it starts to conflate, and then it disrupts the business, whereas you've been able to deal with nothing but men.
You know, it's interesting because I came into this business working with all men. My first internship was with Wu-Tang. My first job was with Wu-Tang, so I always was around a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I have an older brother, so I'm the only girl. So he always used to have his friends over. So I'm always been used to having guys around me. Mm. And I feel like the way that I've always operated and moved has been, you know, unless you're like super disrespectful or you touch me or something like that, we can get past certain things. And sometimes you got to school people, and if they're receptive to it, great. If not, then I just don't know you. You know, and if it has to be a situation, and I feel like it's hard for a lot of women because there's times that you could go back and be like, that was so whack that somebody did that to me. I could have did X, Y, and Z. And some people will do that and some people won't. You know what I mean? And I think when I first got into the business, I was told, if you're going to be really sensitive, you're not going to last in this. Mm-hmm. And that was something that I was like, damn, so it ain't like other people got to change. I got to change is kind of how they make it feel like you better get used to this. This is just what the business is like. And it was kind of like that. So in a way, I feel like people are a lot more cautious now than they've been. I know you are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nigga. Because I was reckless.
People are a lot more cautious now. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You know, because it was hard and difficult for a lot of women to navigate in these spaces. And when people are like, why didn't she say something when it happened? Because you probably might never work again, or people won't believe you, or if it's not something where you have a case and you win a case, then you're a liar. So it's just hard.
How do you deal so well with controversy?
Yeah, you said some wild shit back in the day.
I mean, controversy is part of it. I think there's no way, this is my 20th year doing radio.
Congratulations.
There's no way that you're gonna do 20 years and not have some controversy. It's impossible. That means you didn't do anything. And so people will think that all controversy or all press is good press. I right now like to kind of like be on some chill, mind my business. I never have bad intentions, and I think that's the thing for me. I know myself, and I know that I haven't put things out in the atmosphere that I feel like will come back and do karma on me. So I feel like I have good karma. I feel like I've never done nothing to purposefully try to harm anybody. So if something happens and it's controversial, it's not intentional.
Is that a luxury that you have right now because of the position that you're in? Do you think that other people that's trying to make waves could just sit back and just be like, I'm gonna stay away from all that if I want to move up the ranks?
I think there's a way to do things, and a lot of times you can ask and talk about anything. It's just how you do it. And certain things, no matter what, is going to be controversial. You guys started it off applauding Jeezy. People might be like, "That's whack," that you know.
Yep.
And certain things that you guys are going to say.
You think that's whack?
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
I think
I'm curious because she brought it up.
You know, we're not offended.
No, I'm just saying some people will say that, but like, look, if it was Jeannie Mai got full custody, people would think that was whack. You know,
that's true.
To me, I do believe that I've seen so many instances where parents don't get along with each other, and it really affects the kid. And so I would always rather see both parents work things out for the sake of their child and for a kid to be able to grow up with both parents, unless somebody's doing something that's crazy and it's not safe.
But he's a parent. Socially, it's very rare you see a man keep the child away from the mother versus the mother keeping the child away from the man. I don't functionally see a man keeping the child away from the mother unless she's on some next shit.
Right.
I've seen it before, but it's rare. I've seen it.
Like, is it because the mother was effed up?
Nah,
he felt
it could have been the dude had a lot of money. He was powerful. And he was just on one. Like,
Then he felt the way towards the mother.
she was pretty and she ain't, you know.
She ain't want him.
She ain't want to be with him no
Oh,
more.
then yeah, okay, then.
See, and that's pettiness. They ain't got
then he
nothing to
was
do with no
flexing.
kids.
But the women be flexing the pettiness too.
No, I agree.
But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
I don't want
We
to
ain't
get
trying
on.
to talk it.
I don't want to get on because I don't feel like no sex is worse than the other. I feel like women be doing bullshit, and I know niggas be doing bullshit too. I just be feeling like everybody personifies, yo, the man is so much.
Do you feel like y'all be doing bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing bullshit like what?
You just said men be doing bullshit too, like you
I said
do.
men and women.
Like, but
be
you,
doing
that means you
bullshit.
too.
No, that don't mean me. I'm talking about the overall.
Hynaken said yeah.
Yeah, I do bullshit.
The overall population
Right.
is what I'm speaking of. I'm not speaking of myself.
Okay.
Is there anything you wish you could take back that you said?
I think we all probably have things that we're like, if I could erase that. You know, we always have an opportunity when we do interviews to not air them or take things out. And it does happen. Like, people will be like, I'll take this out. And sometimes you're like, I'll just leave it in. You don't realize what a big deal it's going to be. So I think there's times that maybe I could have just been like, instead of leaving something in an interview, we should have just taken it out.
People don't be asking you to take stuff out?
All the time.
Y'all do it or it's a 50-50
For
thing?
me, I don't think it's worth it for me to ruin a relationship
That's
over
true.
leaving something in an interview that probably isn't that big of a deal. So that's how I look at it. Now, and I will talk to people. Sometimes somebody might think something's bad, and if I can explain it to you, like, honestly, like, you said this X, Y, and Z, but at other times I'm like, it's not worth it. I remember Fab came on the show once, and I had just seen Emily, like, prior to that. This is a while ago, and she was pregnant. And so I didn't know it was a secret because she was, you know, doing press, walking around, doing things.
Yeah.
I think she was styling somebody and she was there. So I was like, oh my God, congrats. Nobody was like, oh, it's a secret, no one knows. And then Fab came up later and I was like, congrats on the baby. And then he asked me to take it out. Of course, I'm not going to leave that in because I didn't realize that people didn't know, you know, so.
What happened, S? You just...
I mean, because she's a controversial figure for somebody to be so nice. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean?
She's had a lot of controversial moments. I'm just sitting here, nothing.